Hello. Another week, another round of pandemic rollercoaster. After all the positive news a week ago about the vaccine rollout, comes the fear that the AstraZeneca vaccine might not be very effective against the new South African variant. And optimism about how soon things might get back to normal begins to fade once again. If there's one thing the last year has taught us, it's the need for patience. We're having to get used to the fact that things are not returning to normal anywhere near as quickly as we would like them to. And that's a big challenge. We are the I want it now society. We don't want to have to wait. Our natural prayer is, Lord, please make me patient and do it straight away. But patience is always a part of discipleship. God doesn't always, or even usually, do things as quickly as we would like. And so we need to pray in line with the Bible. We're returning to the Psalms of Ascent, those songs sung by pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem. And Psalm 123 gives us an example of patience. Let me read it now. I lift up my eyes to you who sit enthroned in heaven. As the eyes of slaves look to the hand of their master, as the eyes of a female slave look to the hand of her mistress, so our eyes look to the Lord our God, till he show us his mercy. Have mercy on us, Lord, have mercy on us, for we have endured no end of contempt. We have endured no end of ridicule from the arrogant, of contempt from the proud. It's something surely every parent on a journey with their children will have heard. Are we nearly there yet? Often no sooner have we set out on a long journey than that's what we're being asked. Are we nearly there yet? And I guess that sometimes on the pilgrimage to Jerusalem the same question was asked. It could be a long journey, several days walking on rough tracks with the danger of bandits or wild animals. But there were no shortcuts. They just had to keep going. But the Psalms of Ascent aren't just about the physical pilgrimage to Jerusalem, because that itself was a model of the life of discipleship, the pilgrimage that all of us as Christians are making through life. And it is a journey which at times is hard and hazardous. We might not be exactly in the position of the person who wrote the psalm, enduring ridicule from the arrogant and contempt from the proud, though in our increasingly post-Christian society that does happen. Maybe among your family you are mocked for your faith. Maybe at work you face hostility because you stand up for the truth. But all of us are facing the opposition and hostility of the coronavirus pandemic at the moment. Maybe it isn't too far-fetched to think of the virus arrogantly ridiculing us, as each time we think we're on top of it, it twists and mutates and seems again to get the upper hand. So whether it is literal opposition or something more abstract, what do we do? I lift up my eyes to you who sit enthroned in heaven. We lift our eyes away from the problems, away from our impatience, and, as the old hymn puts it, we turn our eyes upon Jesus. Actually, this is an unusual way to speak about God. It's not something we find often in the Bible, calling God you who sit enthroned in heaven. But I think it is a reminder for us that God is King. He is in control. He does reign over the universe. We might not understand why he's allowing this continued pandemic, but we can remember that it is actually under his sovereign control. He is enthroned. So we remember that, and then we look to him. We look as slaves look to their master. And again, it's a reminder for us that as Christians we are servants, slaves of the living God. It is for him to direct our lives. It is his will we should be looking for and doing. But the slave also looked to their master to provide for them. Now that seems to be what Psalm 123 is talking about. As the eyes of slaves look to the hand of their master, as the eyes of a female slave look to the hand of her mistress, so our eyes look to the Lord our God till he shows us his mercy. We look to God because we have no power ourselves. We look to God because he is the one enthroned in heaven. We look to God because only he can provide what we need. So this looking to God is another way of talking about prayer. We come before God, we ask for his provision and his help, and we do it until he shows us his mercy. We go on praying, trusting that God is in control. We go on looking to him because ultimately only he can rescue us from this pandemic. We go on looking to God. We don't give up on praying. And it's a challenge. I wonder how many Christians who last spring were praying for God to intervene in this pandemic have stopped praying, have stopped expecting that God will act, have lost confidence in his good purposes, have stopped looking to the Lord our God. We are not naturally a patient people. And maybe one of the things God wants to teach us through all this is patience. To go on praying, to go on trusting that he will act, to go on believing that he is in control. We do still have to endure this virus. It does sometimes seem that it is ridiculing our attempts to deal with it. But we don't give up hope. We lift our eyes to the one enthroned in heaven. Are we nearly there yet? No, but we will arrive. And until then, we go on looking to the Lord our God, until he has mercy on us.